up, everybody? Well, I got another Asus G15 Advantage gameplay video for you guys today, and today we're checking out Dune Awakening again, but we're gonna try it at 1440p on this external monitor, and this thing usually gets a little performance bump from being on an external monitor, usually not enough to make up for the 1440p-ness, but hey, it is what it is. So now we can go ahead and see what it can do at 1440p. So let's get into the game and waste no more time. So we're gonna start off the same way we did on the 1080p video and just try maxing everything out, which admittedly is very stupid, especially on a mid-range laptop like this. And yeah, then we'll try turning on some FSR and we'll just go from there. We got Lumen on as well, and we all know AMD usually doesn't like ray tracing, but we gotta test it out anyway from time to time just to see what it can do. So now, let's go get into that game. Now we're gonna try Ultra, but without the Lumen. At least I'm pretty sure that's what we did. I guess let's go look through the settings right now. We'll see together. I did so many of these today. Yep, still everything else all Ultra. There's no... Alright, let's get into the game, shall we? Now let's try turning the ray tracing off and see what it can do. We'll try native first, and then we'll turn on some FSR. At least I think that's what I did. Who knows? I might have messed up. Like I said, this is where I started, I think, making a little bit too many recordings for my own good. And that's where I tend to mess up. But I wanted to try to do a really thorough job. But again, I guess you can't really do a thorough job if you mess up and make the video way worse than it was going to be, but I don't think that's going to happen here. Now we're going to basically do what we just did in the last section here, but we're going to use some quality FSR. Although I think the Intel one actually looks a little bit cleaner, it's just you get a better performance uplift here, so that's what I decided to go with this time around. Probably should have done that on the handhelds too, if I'm honest, but hey, what's done is done. So now we get into the game. now it's time to drop it down to high. And we'll start off native, and then we'll try FSR 2. And then I think after that, we'll probably drop it down to medium too. I think that's what we had to do to get decently good FPS on the 1080p panel, so we'll probably have to do the same at 1440p as well. Either way, let's get into the game, shall we? So now we're going to do quality FSR with the high settings here. And then I think we'll move on to medium. But alright, let's get into the game, shall we?
Huh? Eyes on enemy!
rush. We'll be over soon.
They're here!
Yeah. Yeah.
We're now going to put it down to medium, which tends to be the best. It's not perfect. Still has its drops under 60, just like it did at 1080p, but... And that's after we turn the FSR on. I don't know if it still can do it without it. But hey, we're going to find out in a second here. So, let's stop blabbing and let's get to gaming. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and turn FSR on the quality and medium. And then I think after that we'll move on to a little bit of some camera recorded gameplay. Alright, good enough. Let's get into the game, shall we?
I need some backup.
Alright, now for some camera recording gameplay. Ooh, let's get the hell out of the sun. Fuck that. That's just hot. There was someone about to attack me, but nope, I think that was something else. I think that's somebody else's encampment, so we'll just leave that alone. Last thing I want is to have somebody kill me. Ooh, you definitely need to hydrate. Shade there. Ooh, that was like a hiccup bird. Alright, well. Just gotta take a quick drink. Probably shouldn't have stood in the sun to do it, but whatever. It's just a game after all. Flee from the sun's misery. Nope, nope, not like that. Yeah, still pretty playable, but I'm almost willing to guarantee it's going to do exactly what it did at 1080p. There'll be certain spots where it's just going to fall under 60 here and there. And we're not recording this time with anything that's affecting the FPS. This is 100% just the game being played the way you'd play it normally with the camera pointed at it. Try to get over to that without getting eaten by a sandworm or frying. Something's on fire down there. Oh, that thing's seen better days. I wonder if it got ate by one of them worms.
Who's there? They've got you. Where's the backup?
come on over here. And then I stab you as soon as you come over. Yes. Definitely seems to have a lot smoother frame times, regardless of frame rate, but there we go, see? Same about 50, 51 FPS that we were getting at 1080. There's just certain spots in this game that just seem to do that on this thing. I don't know if it's going to be like a, it doesn't like AMD kind of thing, if it's just the way the game does kind of thing, or what, really. Still though, pretty damn playable, I would say. Even though I love having 60 plus, it's 60 more often than not. But it does have its moments, as you saw. Corpse. Anyway, that's probably more than good enough for camera recorded gameplay. So, it is now time to wrap up. Alright guys, that's a wrap for Dune Awakening at 1440p on the Asus G15 Advantage, and it did very similarly. Lost a couple FPS, obviously I'm doing a higher resolution. Jeez, now a lot of people would edit that out, but not me. I don't care if I make a kerfuffle here and there. Now, if I was somebody who had a million subs and was making a shit ton of money, I would owe it to you guys, you know, to give you absolute flawless stuff. But I'm just some guy having fun on YouTube. I mean, that's not an excuse to just go, nope, I don't care. Obviously, if I didn't care, I wouldn't do this shit at all. But at the same time, it's just basically saying a little mix up ain't a big deal. Now, if I start saying something and go, oh shit, I just told them this is a 16 core processor and I got it confused with my Alienware, obviously I'd go and correct myself. Anyway though, I would say it did a pretty adequate job. It was definitely playable, just like at 1080p. In fact, I'd say it got smoother frame times at 1440. That's a pretty normal thing for both laptops actually. Neither one really seemed to like doing 1080p, or in the Alienware's case 1200p since it's 16 by 10 aspect ratio, but they're basically the same. The 16 by 10 just has a little bit more on the top and the bottom. Maybe takes an FPS or two, maybe 3 tops extra to run over 1080p, I would guess. Maybe not even that much. Either way though, that is all for this video, and hopefully now the person who was asking now has a good idea of how it runs both at 1080p and at 1440. The only thing I didn't do was low, and that's just because it didn't really seem to fix the 50 FPS problem, and then it made it look quite a bit worse. Still not completely terrible looking by any means, but it just didn't look as good as medium. Anyway, that's all for this video though, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video, because I sure as hell enjoyed making it for you guys. And until the next video, peace out guys.